Hi there, friends. Welcome to Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe. It's Monday, November 14th, and I'm so happy that you're here. I do have some information, news to share with you today, and then we're going to have a lot of fun making a couple of cute and whimsical cards. So please stay with me, and of course I'll be giving those cards away. As many of you know, I was in Indianapolis the last few days. Stampin' Up! Put on their center stage reception for leaders on Friday evening, and then all day Saturday was the onstage convention, I'll say, for all demonstrators. And there were numerous ones happening around the country and the globe, but I attended Saturday's event in Indianapolis. So lots of fabulous things happened there. Of course, for me, the most exciting is always reuniting with old demonstrator friends and then making new friends while I'm there. It's just a really fun social atmosphere, a friendly, welcoming, fun community to belong to. And of course, I'm just so happy to represent Stampin' Up! As a demonstrator. They're a fabulous company to work for, and when I'm at their events, I truly feel appreciated, loved, valued, and take away so much from these events. And I do want to say that this is my lanyard with ribbons, and we get different ribbons for different achievements that we've had over the last year. And I just want to say all of that is very much in thanks to all of you who support me in what I do, in whatever form that you do. So thank you very much for that. I did get the January to April, there's a change in time frame, but the January to April mini catalog, as well as the January-February celebration brochure. I'm sure you've seen, if you've been online at all the last few days, you've seen those covers on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. I can show you the covers, but I'm not allowed to show you anything inside the catalog, or I should say I'm not allowed to show you the inside pages of those publications until they actually go live early January. But I am allowed to show you pictures of some of the products that were on display, and I can show you products that I received when I was there. So how about if I give you a sneak peek of 3 of the stamp sets coming in January. First of all, this one, decorative borders. I think that would be so pretty, colored with, especially with I'm thinking watercolor pencils. And my friend Sherry Parker, who was there, mentioned she thought this would be great for wedding cards, but I picture using it for all sorts of different cards and occasions. Here's a background stamp, hand-drawn dots. So just a whimsical set of dots and there's lots of techniques and fun things we can do with that. So we'll be seeing some of that in January and later on. And then I also, or all of us, I should say, received the Beautifully Happy stamp set. And this is one that is a celebration offering with a $100 purchase. And I'll be using this a lot during January and February celebration. So it's always exciting to see some new product. My second announcement, or first announcement, I should say, is I have 2 classes that I announced earlier today through my email newsletter, and they're also posted on my blog. I do two separate posts today, one for each of these classes. And you can find those on stampinpeace.com. The first is what I'm calling sort of a celebration rewind. I had 10 perfect pomegranate stamp sets from the summer celebration. That stamp set is retired, but I put together 10 classes to go that include the stamp set, if you don't already have it, and I'm limited to those 10. If number 11, 12 want them, you're too late. I only have those 10 stamp sets and I can't get any more. They were ones I acquired during celebration and they are retired. But anyways, I just wanted to show you the cards really quickly. They would make a fabulous set of note cards for you to use yourself or even for you to give as a gift. Excuse me. Again, information about that is on stampinpiece.com. There are a limited number of option 1s that include the stamp set. Plenty of option 2s. There's no limit on those. And of course, you can purchase just the PDF tutorial if you like. And then on December 5th, I will be hosting a Textured Chic Memories and More online cards class. And this will be done via Zoom on December 5th, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You will get a package of the Texture Chic Memories and More card pack. You will get the package of coordinating cards and envelopes, 20 of those, and a package of the brushed metallic dots, gorgeous, 3 shades of those, really pretty. And then I will send you with your kit, I'll send you anything else that you need. We'll be using some gold distressed paper. And I will send you the kit class and then a link to the Zoom. You'll also receive a PDF tutorial by email. So you can complete the cards on your own, but if you want to join me and others on Zoom on that evening of December 5th, we'll make the 20 cards together. And trust me, when you see these, you will love them. And yes, we will make 20 different cards in the 2-hour time span. That's what I usually do for, oops, I forgot to set my computer so I can see comments. But that's typically what I've done in the past for these Memory and More card online classes. We do 20 cards in 2 hours or less. So it'll be a lot of fun. It's super easy. It's a non-stamping class. So it'll be, whoops. It's a non-stamping class, and it's perfect for anybody of any skill level. And if you have friends or you yourself are new to card making, this is excellent for you. Also, these cards, and I'll just quickly show you a few. Look at the envelopes though. They're so pretty. They've got that gold detail and some floral detail on the inside. I'm just going to show you a few. Not take the time to show you all 20. But they're all occasion cards. They would make a great gift. You could keep some and package others for a gift. So perfect for this time of year. And you know, the holidays always get crazy, right? So this will be a great escape from the hustle and bustle of the holidays for 2 hours on December 5th. So I hope you'll join me for that. Information is on my blog, stampinpiece.com. And I also sent an email newsletter regarding that class as well. Okay, now for the big announcement that I don't want anybody to miss. I saved this one for last before we go on to today's cards because I want everybody to hear this. So from Tuesday, November 15th through Friday, November 18th, Stampin' Up! Is having a seasonal sale. So listen up to what's on sale. There's great deals, okay? And all of the products that are on sale come from the annual catalog only. It does not include holiday catalog products. It's from the big annual catalog only. You know which one I'm talking about, I assume, okay? From that catalog. So in there, 10% off all punches, 15% off all stamps, with the exception is if it's a host stamp, there's a couple in the back of the catalog that people can earn with their Stampin' rewards. Those couple are not included in the sale, but every other stamp set is 15% off. All dies are 20% off. And I'm going to stop here just a moment because you know we sell bundles, a stamp set and punch bundle or stamp set and die bundles. With this sale, please do not use a bundle item number, okay? That is not going to be your best deal this week, all right, Tuesday through Friday. If you are interested in a bundle, please put in the separate item numbers for the stamp set and then the separate item number for the punch and or die. Because instead of 10% off that you get with the bundle price, you're going to get 15% off the stamp set and 20% off that punch or die, all right? I want you to get the most you can for your money, so be aware of that this week. Okay, in addition to those things, there are 20% off all embossing folders. I plan to pick up a couple. And 20% of the non-specialty designer series paper. So the non-specialty designer series paper, specialty means typically it has metallics in it, things like that. But I will show you and tell you exactly what pages. So the non-specialty designer series papers begin on page 131, all right? So 131, 132, 133, and then there are some others on page 134 and 135. So if it says just designer series paper in the description, it's on sale 20% off. If it says specialty paper or specialty designer series paper, it is not on sale, all right? Just want to clarify that for everybody. And later today, I will post, or maybe early this in the morning. No, I'll do it tonight. I will post a PDF that lists all the products that are on sale. But that's basically it. 10% off punches, 15% off stamp sets, 20% off dies, 20% off embossing folders, and 20% off designer series papers. Whew! That's a lot to take in, isn't it? But, you know, we got to talk about those sales. I want people to get the most for their money. You can call in your order to me, or you can place your order online in my Stampin' Up store, which is maryknabe.stampinup.net. And please, if you are ordering less than $150 in product, please use the November host code. I would appreciate that very much. And I think we should start some stamping and card making. What do you think? I'm going to flip my camera around now. And when I do that, please share this live video and invite others to join us on this Monday afternoon. Okie dokie. Do you want to see the cards first, or should we just start? How about if I show you the cards? I've been talking a lot, so I'll go ahead and give you a sneak peek. Today, I'm using the Penguin Place stamp set, which also has a coordinating punch. So the stamp set tomorrow will be 15% off. The punch will be 10% off. But these are the two cards I'm going to be making. And I'm also going to be incorporating that split card textures dies with the squares in it. And wait till you see what I do with this, because we're going to cut this piece of cardstock down to 5 inches by 3 3/4. Okay, 5 inches by 3 3/4. I don't want, well, you'll see why. I just don't want any extra border around when I die cut this, and you'll see why in just a moment. So I'm putting the edges of this die, I need to move that back now. I'm putting the edges, straight edges of this die right along the straight edges of the cardstock. Whoops. The penguins are absolutely adorable, and I have to admit, they are a carryover product from last year's holiday mini catalog, and I used them a good bit last year, but I really kind of forgot about them this year. So I thought this would be a fun way to show those off, as well as, let me poke some of these out, as well as combining the penguin products with the split card texture dies that we've been using lately. Because with these dies, I think these are an often overlooked product, but I want to give people several ways to use these, right? So last week, we did 2 different ways of using them. Last week, we used this as a stencil, like on this card. And then prior to that, we used this as sort of the card front overall background of our card. So you'll want to take a look at those. And both of those demonstrations have been posted to my blog, stampinpeace.com. Now, I only need one of these die cut, but I'm using this to make both cards. So right along here, I'm just going to cut. Doesn't have to be smooth or perfect or anything. Just cut away these straight lines. You don't actually want to cut a straight line. You want to keep those ridges in that, I guess I'd say it's kind of a torn paper look. But you want to cut away the grid part of it. And we're going to save that. I'm going to stick it in the envelope for the second card. All right. Slip it in there. So I'm going to use this as a snow hill on my card. I've got all kinds of things here for us. So my card base is balmy blue, 5.5 by 8.5 inches, scored at 4 1/4 as usual. You will need 2 pieces of the basic white that measure 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And you can go ahead and put one on the inside of your card base. And then go ahead and put the second one of the same size on your card front. Now this card, I'm going to make a vertical card. As you can see, that's the way the snow hill goes, right? I think it would be a little crazy slope if I want the other direction. With my piece of 5" by 3 3/4 inch basic white, I'm going to do some, I'm going to bring in a scrap paper. I'm going to be doing some blending. I'm going to add color, the balmy blue color, with a blending brush. And you can make this as light or as dark as you want to. It doesn't matter. In fact, you can see on both of my cards, I did blend some ink on each one. On this one, the ink in the background's a little heavier. Here, it's a little lighter. So there's no right or wrong, just whatever looks good to you. Remember after you swirl your brush into the ink pad, swirl it onto some scrap paper first, and then move on to the cardstock. That way it's not getting blotchy. And you just swirl, 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 swirl. Like that. You don't have to cover the whole thing because part of it will be covered with our snow hill. Now this is very, very light. You can see the difference there. If you feel like you want a little more, just repeat the process, okay? And you're always gonna get a smoother look if you do small amounts of ink, repeating the process over and over to get it darker, okay? Oops, no, I leave that open. Now I'm gonna add some snowflakes to my background. Now you can do them full strength. Well, let me do it like this. You can stamp them full balmy blue ink, or you can stamp and stamp off and get a lighter shade. You can also stamp off a third time and get it super light. I wanna just wipe off the edge of this block. So I kind of like to have a variation in the tones. So I'm doing some full strength and then stamping off for a lighter tone of the balmy blue. Some people might prefer to do all stamping off. And if you do it that way, you're gonna stamp off and then stamp on the cardstock. Stamp off, stamp on the cardstock, and then you'll be putting only the light shade on. So I'm gonna close that up. I'm using lots of ink pads today. So this is what I have so far. I'm going to go ahead and adhere my snow hill to the stamped cardstock. I'm just trying to match up the sides, the left and right sides, and the bottom edges. And then I'll put this on my card front with dimensionals. Oh, I need to pull out a sheet of larger dimensionals, but that's all right. These small ones will work for me. I'll just use a few more. So now there's my card front. I'm not going to be doing any other stamping on the card front, but I do need to stamp some pieces to finish off my card. The first thing I'm going to do is stamp some penguin bodies. Now, because I made this mistake earlier, I'm going to share this tip with you. Whenever you're stamping and then punching, look at the direction the shapes take in the punch. So in other words, when I flip this over, look what's happened. That penguin body is actually upside down. So I want to make sure I stamp it upside down. That'll just make it easier. And it doesn't matter if you have a strip about the same height, but earlier I had a larger piece and I stamped and then I realized, oh, wait a second, they're the wrong direction. So I had to cut it down to a strip and then punch. I'm going to use 2 on this card, but I'm going to go ahead and stamp a 3rd because I need a penguin for the other card. And actually, before I stamp these, you can stamp, you can punch before or after you stamp the details on, but sometimes it's just a little bit easier if you need to hold on to the paper or move the paper. It's a little bit easier if you haven't punched it yet. Just gives you more room to lay your fingers down and move things into position the way you need them. But again, no real right or wrong answer with that. And then I'm going to stamp the beak. I'm going to try to go right up and meet that black, or get as close to it as I can. Cute, huh? All right. Close this up. Now, one of these, I am going to stamp a teeny tiny little garden green bow tie on. I'll make him look kind of dressed up for the holidays. All right, so now I think I am ready to punch all of these out. Now, the reason, what this is here for is, let me show you this way. So here's the body. You could punch this in black cardstock, and then you would punch this piece in white and place that on top, and then stamp the eyes and feet, things like that. But that's what this second piece is. I'm not using that because I stamped the whole penguin. But they're really cute if you punch from black and white construction paper. Not construction paper, cardstock. Construction paper, that's like kindergarten days, right? I don't know where that came from. But because my shape is on the right, I want to make sure to put my paper in through the right. If I was trying to do it through the left, you can see what's happening. I would be wasting not only cardstock, but also punching through the image I just stamped. So if it's 2 shapes and your shape that you're punching is on the right, put the cardstock in from the right-hand side, the stamped cardstock from the right side. Okay. Now one of these I'll set aside. That's for the second card. And I'm going to dress this one up a little bit. I went ahead and pre-stamped the scarf and beanie. And I'm just going to fussy cut these with my paper snips. Super easy to cut out. Don't not use them because you don't want to fussy cut or you don't like fussy cutting. They're too easy for you to skip and not use. And of course, our $10 paper snips make it super easy. Notice I'm leaving just a small border of white. You can cut right up to the stamped edges, or you can leave that small white border. Thanks to all of you who are watching live today and for sharing. And then for people who are catching this on the replay later, I appreciate you just as much. So thank you for watching and sharing as well. So I'm so glad I thought to pull out this Penguin Place stamp set and the Penguin Punch, because like I said, I did kind of forget about it. Sometimes we get excited about the new and forget to go back to the things that have been around a while. I'm not even putting glue over the whole scarf or hat. I'm just doing a tiny little bit. Remember, this is a perfect example of less is more. I'm going to pull this silicone craft mat in here so I don't get glue on my tabletop. But I just put a little glue on the bottom of the hat because that's the only part I'm adhering to the penguin. Okay, I'm going to let that sit for a moment and go ahead and stamp my sentiment. Char, you have snow on the way. Okay, it's plenty cold here in Ohio. There was some snow on the weekend, but like a dusting, I would call it. I don't know that we have snow in the forecast here, though, in central Ohio. I'm stamping this sentiment in Balmy Blue ink on Balmy Blue cardstock. And that cardstock measures 1/2 inch by 3 inches. And I banner cut just one end. So this is the same blue that I used to blend the color in the background and stamp the snowflakes with, in case you're wondering. I'm going to go ahead and add this. I'm not going to take my glue right to the end though, because it is going to be on this top layer and it is going to overhang that top layer just a bit on the left side. I love this card. So cute. All right, now I'm ready to add my penguins. Of course, got to pop up these fun guys with some dimensionals. And these two buddies are going to, or it could be a Mr. and Mrs. too, I guess, but they're going to celebrate the holidays together. And I have to say, this sentiment, there's several in here. What, 5, 6, 7? There's even a happy birthday. So if you know people who have a birthday in the winter months, you can incorporate this. Of course, I'm doing more of a holiday theme, but there's little birthday presents, a gift bag and such, a string and a balloon. So if you want to do something birthday, that's nice. But be cool, be chill, be merry. That is my all-time favorite sentiment from this stamp set. It gets me every time. Be cool, be chill, be merry. All right, who loves it? Yes, it does look like they're sliding down, right? And they look happy, don't they? All right, that will be one of the cards I give away after today's demonstration, but let's go ahead and make our second card. Here's that piece I cut away from the split card texture die. And then many of my other pieces are the same that I used on my first card. I've got basic white, or I'm sorry, balmy blue cardstock for the card base. And then I'll be adding a basic white layer to the inside and to the front. And both of these measure 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Oh, Lori, thanks. I stay pretty true to my style, you know, and I appreciate hearing that. You know, that's kind of the neat thing about crafting and even Stampin' Up! In general, is that we all find our style. Whether it be, you know, wow, lots of cards, lots of layers, lots of bling, lots of extras, or maybe more of a simple less is more style. But they all work. They're all fabulous. So always, I encourage people to always stick to your style. Find your style and stick to that. It doesn't hurt to, you know, go out of the box and try other things. But just like in life, we don't want to be somebody we're not. We don't want to be somebody else. We just want to be our best. And same thing with style of stamping and card making. Do what makes you happy, what brings you joy, and then your cards will do the same for others. All right, I'm going to add some Balmy Blue to this cardstock. And I want it mainly just in the center. I'm not so worried about covering the whole piece of cardstock. And I'm going to try and go super, super light. Sometimes that's a bit of a challenge to be able to go that light. Sometimes it looks so light, we think, oh, it's not going to make that much of a difference. I need to add more, need to add more. And then all of a sudden we get to a point where we're like, oh, I wish I had stopped earlier. And again, there's no right or wrong. It's just, what is our preference? And I think I'm going to stop right there. If you kind of want to test it, you can see the difference, right? You can see the subtle blue background against the white. Oh, I want to leave that open. And with my snowflakes, where are those? Here. With my snowflakes, I want these to be super, super light too. So I'm going to stamp off and then onto my cardstock and maybe off again. So I'm actually stamping off and stamping off again. So I'm getting real subtle here. Go ahead and move your cardstock around so that you're not getting all of the darker shades in one area and all of the lightest shades in another. Also, I like to make sure that I'm going off the paper some. Go off the cardstock. It just looks, I think, more interesting and more complete. Even turn your stamp at times. You want it to look kind of, what do I want to say? Kind of whimsical. Okay, I think that's good, so I'm going to stop. And now I just want a piece of this. Actually, I'm going to put my snow on the bottom first. I just cut a strip of basic white cardstock, the same width as my stamped piece. So this is 3 3/4 inch across, and then you can just pull. Now notice here, you can see the texture of the paper. I like that. I think it gives a little more dimension than the other side. So to make that happen, hold the paper and then pull the part you're tearing away, pull it towards you. Okay, the part you're going to throw away, pull towards you. And then you'll get that, be able to see all those fibers inside the cardstock. If you don't want it that way, you just flip it over and use the other side. But I like this one because it really does give you some more dimension. Are there any Stampin' Up! Demonstrators watching? Gian's watching. I know she's a demonstrator. Any Stampin' Up! Demonstrators watching who attended an onstage event? And if so, where did you go? I had so much fun in Indianapolis. I went with a fairly new demonstrator friend, Julie Heitz, and then I met some of my team members and sidelines, uplines, things like that there. So really fun. Now, I don't want all this on there, so I'm just going to cut some of this off. And it can be random. You don't worry about how much of that you're actually putting on, okay? Just decide for yourself what looks best. You can even, but I like to have it look a little, what do I want to say? Sort of like a free look to it, not real boxy. Oh, Alice, it would have been so much fun to meet you. And yes, Jeanne, perhaps I will see you in Las Vegas next year for the backstage event for leaders. I think it's going to be awesome. But I always love the Stampin' Up! Of, whoops, what happened there? Okay, I'm going to deal with that later and grab my other bottle of glue. I've never had that happen. With this, I am just putting the slightest bit on, and don't feel like you have to have glue everywhere on these little lines. Whoops. Just a little bit will do you. The other thing is, I don't like to glue it all down because that leaves a little extra dimension as well. Julie Williamson, okay, you're also a demonstrator. So any of you demonstrators that are watching, if I haven't met you yet, I hope we get to meet in person in the future. That, Lori just asked what the highlight was for me. Honestly, the highlight was when people came up to me and said, Mary, I watch you on Facebook, or Mary, I've seen one of your videos and I just wanted to meet you. That, wow. I mean, I hardly have words for that, to be honest. It makes me feel like I've got all these new friends, plus to know that I'm reaching people. And that is, I'm so grateful for that opportunity. And it means so much to me. Plus, it's a real boost of confidence. Does anybody else feel like that when somebody says, oh, I saw you do whatever, or I heard this, and that's awesome, right? It just boosts your confidence level so much. I love it. All right, I guess I don't need that scrap paper because I already went ahead and punched out my my penguin. But look what I'm going to do to this guy. I'm going to give him some antlers. He's going to be dressed up a bit like a reindeer for the holidays. Now, again, you're probably like, oh, Mary, you're wanting me to fussy cut? Yes, yes, just a little bit though, okay? Just a little bit. And again, it's easy with our, I say my $10 paper snips. To me, anything $10 and less is a real bargain in this world. Oh, Jeanne, thank you so much. I do not take for granted this job I have. I'm very blessed to be able to do this. And I love knowing that I inspire other people. When I hear that, it makes me think I'm doing my job well. I'm trying to think, what other highlights? Oh, I got some ideas for classes. Learned a few new tips. Oops, did I cut that guy off? I think I did. Okay, well, he's going to have to be without one, right? Did I cut it? Oh, I did. I think let me flip it over. Oh, I cut off a little bit. Shoot. Okay, well, that's all right. We aren't perfect, and neither are all these deer out there, right? If if you're in the Midwest or live other places with a high deer population, you got to watch out. I'm seeing a lot lately when I'm driving. And I kind of know the areas around town here. Like I live off kind of a country road. It's not really, but in terms of the big city and big suburbs, some of these roads that go through here are basically just 2-lane country roads, and they're more traveled now, but we still have the deer and other wildlife around. This guy's going to be so cute. I'm sorry I cut off part of his antler, but life just has to go on, right? Does anybody have the Penguin Play stamp sets and the Penguin Punch, Penguin Builder Punch? I think it's still going to look fine, so I'm going for it. And you notice too, my cutting on here isn't perfect. It's a little tricky going around the antlers, as you saw. But put it on the whole card. And it's hardly noticeable, right? When we're working on things, we know every tiny little detail or what we may think of as mistakes, but always remember the people receiving your card. And if I make a big blatant mistake, yes, I'll redo it. But sometimes we worry about things that nobody else would even notice. So like when the card is finished, they're looking at the whole card. They're not going along, you know, looking at like, oh, is that snowflake evenly stamped? No, they're not going to do that. And stamping should be stress-free. Card making should be stress-free. We're doing it to bring joy and happiness to other people. So we need to make sure that we're working and creating in a way that brings joy and happiness to us too, right? And we all need more of that. That's why I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. It brings me joy and happiness. I mean, honestly, when I'm at these events, it just fills me up. You know, I leave with a full heart and a full mind and ready to get home and stamp and share the joy of stamping with other people, share my cards, mail them out. You get it, right? Oh, amen. I get a couple amens. I don't mean to sound preachy, but it's true, right? Life is hard. The world's a bit crazy and life is hard. We need to find joy and happiness, and we need to work at spreading joy and happiness. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this little guy right here. And I think I'm not going to put a sentiment on this one because I might want to use it, or you, who I should say, who's ever receiving it, might want to use it for something other than Christmas or holiday. Sometimes I make cards in, especially when I make a stash, I may not always put sentiments on, but The card is ready, and then I can choose the sentiment for whatever occasion I need it for. Shall we tell our husbands it's cheaper than therapy? Well, I can honestly, I say I pay for both, the therapy and the card making, so it's hard for me to say. But, you know, whatever works for us, right? Whatever works for us. Some people love exercising. Not me. I do it. I walk because I need to exercise. And other people, you know, do it because they love it. Card making makes me happy. So this is what I do. Yes, a great winter birthday greeting too. Love it. Absolutely. Yeah, I do feel like I need a little something here though. I'm just not liking the straight line kind of thing here. Let me see. Let me think about this. How about a few embellishments? How about a little bit of bling? Maybe that's why I'm feeling that way. I don't know if these white dots, no. Let me see here. I'm thinking the I can find them. I'm thinking the iridescent rhinestones. Are there some tiny ones there? Here we go. Yes, there's a small. How about just a few iridescent rhinestones? Who said that? Kathy, bling bling in the upper left. Marcia, yes on the bling. I don't even know why I ask you people that. I know what your answer is going to be. And I'm just going to use the small ones here. How's that? Is that better? Oh, sequins could have worked. I didn't even think about that. I do have some of these. Oh, I could have used these too. Forgot about those. Adhesive back stars. Okay, maybe next time we'll have a project for those. Cute. I know, you all love bling. All love bling. Some like a little bling, some like a lot of bling, but we all love bling in one way or another. All right. Who would like to be chosen to receive one of these cute penguin cards? Anybody? I have a feeling most of you, if not all of you, would like to receive them. Go ahead in the comments now and type Penguin Place in the comments. Excuse me. If you put Penguin Place in the comments, then your name will go into the drawing for the opportunity to win one of these cards. Sar just asked, are the holiday rhinestones, or no, holiday sequins back in? I don't think so. I can check for you real quick. I believe they weren't due in until the end of November, but dates do change and they do update the site very regularly, if not daily. So let me take a quick look and I'll tell you. Also, I know the festive pearls were unavailable right now. Let me see. Demonstrators have an inventory status report we can look at. Okay, adhesive back seasonal sequins says they are the estimated time in the warehouse, so estimated availability for ordering is November 21st. Let me see. Oh, it looks good. It looks like, yes, let me double check. It does look like the festive pearls are back in. Okay, so I hope that helps. Sequins, estimated availability is November 21st, and the what did I just say? The Festive Pearls. Those are the ones with, let me see if I have a pack here to show you. Those are the ones with the 3 colors. And I know some people were waiting on those. Those are back in. No, 4 colors. It has 4 colors. Well, here. It has 4 colors. Gold, silver, a red, and then this light green is kind of like a really soft succulent color. All right. And yes, don't forget, tomorrow is the big sale. And please note that the sale times are based on Mountain Time, where Stampin' Up! Distribution Center is. So the times are midnight Mountain Time. So like I'm in the Eastern time zone. So for me, it would be like 2 a.m. on the 15th. But midnight on the 15th through 11:59 on the 18th, both Mountain Time. And then you can adjust to the time zone that you're in. Yes, the celebration is filled with goodies. Lots of fun DSP, some cool stamp sets, some things that coordinate with products that will be in the January to April mini. So yes, I'm excited about it. I'm excited. So when am I ever not excited about new Stampin' Up! Product though, right? That's, I guess, redundant. I don't even need to say that, do I? Anyways, thanks for spending part of your Monday with me. I hope you have a fabulous week. I am planning to do a Facebook Live on Wednesday evening. However, I have a hair appointment at 5:30. As long as she's on time, and it is almost a half hour away from here, so as long as she's on time and depending on traffic, I am planning to get on Wednesday evening. All right. If that changes, I will post here on Stampin' Piece with Mary Knabe. Yes, Marsha, the farm-themed DSP is so cute, and it matches a bundle in the January to April mini. My mom was raised on a dairy farm, and I have lots of relatives who have farmed or do farm, and that one really struck me. It's super, super cute. I also think it would be cute to make some baby cards. Anyways, have a great Monday evening, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy stamping.